There we go. Let's see. Let me get to the live on the screen. There we go. Takes YouTube a little while for the desktop to catch up with the camera on the mobile device. Let's set a very quick goal. Don't know if anybody's going to be coming in. We'll see. It's a holiday, but I felt obligated to come on. So if you're watching the replay, just fast forward a bit. We'll give this a test. If you guys are watching, make sure you set your chat to live chat from top chat. Oh, hey Sandra, you're the first one in here, my dear. Sassy Granny! Oh, let me turn off my notifications on the phone really quick so I don't get the pop-ups. There we go. Hey, Karen. How you doing there? Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, my friend? Pauline Stansberry, welcome in. Sassy, did you see my camera test or the sound test last night? The sound test video? Perfecto. I'm mind blown. Hey, Connie, saw you last night. Well, actually, it was early this morning, wasn't it? We were live, or I was watching the live. I wasn't on it. I just was watching the Juice's middle of the night show. I could never stay awake long enough for him to get to the phone calls. I was just like, oh, I have to go to bed. Yes. You did make the live, Pauline. I know, Sassy. It's just, everybody, just put your loving arms around Sassy Granny 8. And I see you're also a channel member, as is Connie. Boy, Connie, she was in a generous mood last night. I keep saying last night, but it was early this morning when we were both in the same live watching the Juice. That was a good one, too, until I finally just had to go to bed because if I had talked to him, I would have sounded like a drunk person. I was so tired. But she was throwing out the memberships. She was just like throwing them out. I was like, I'm so happy to see that. I am so happy to see people like him. He's such a wonderful young man to be supported, and he's got so much on his plate right now. So I just wanted to tell you that, you know, in my chat, if you happen to come in today, that was a really cool thing you did for him. Hey, Leanne. Closing on a new home July 22nd. How exciting. Yeah, I'm still in the same little one-room apartment. Well, one bedroom. Yes, I love him too, Connie. You've been busy. Well, I'm glad you came in today. I usually stay home on July 4th. To keep, you know, the animals safe, but, you know, with my disability, like, where am I going to go anyway? And I wasn't going to do laundry or grocery shopping or anything like that today. I don't even know, are the grocery stores even open today? I did have a little exciting thing happen, though. I got a little new rug, a little 5x7 that goes under the coffee table for the bunny to sit on. And even though she's normally passed out asleep at this time of the day, she's been running around for hours now, checking it out and smelling it and rubbing her body all over it. She's so happy. It's made my whole day just that my little bunny is happy. And now she's a little loaf, all curled up, sound asleep, sitting on her new rug. It's just so cute. Let me check her. Oh, yeah, she's just so happy. She's smiling. Oh, what did I get? Connie sent a gift, the first gift of the day. The finger heart. Oh, she's asleep right now, Sandra, but if you want to see her, you can go to my the animal playlist after this video, or whenever you want to. Hey, Brian, happy 4th of July. I decided to do a 4th of July backdrop. There's not a lot of new news today on Nancy, but let me get started. Let me just introduce myself in case you're new here. I'm April Davis, PI, and I am a licensed private investigator in Los Angeles, California, mostly retired. I have been reporting on the Nancy Guthrie case since February the 2nd. I am not working the case in any way. And I'm just like you guys. We're just following this. I'm beating the drum, trying to keep this case relevant. And I did read an article today from some offbeat news agency. I've never even heard of them before. And it was kind of like, oh, I didn't see that story. And it was about Savannah. Let's see. Yeah, just go see her on the videos. She's sleeping right now. She's exhausted because she's normally sleeping this time of the day, but she's been up for hours helping me get the new rug set up. She was more excited than the cat. So there is this article that Savannah Guthrie, that she made a statement. And she did. I didn't know that. I hadn't heard this. So Savannah Guthrie shares heartbreaking update on missing mom, 5 months of agony. The Today host shared a devastating statement 5 months after Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. It has been more than 150 days, 154 to be exact now, since Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother Nancy went missing from her Arizona home on February the 1st. Yeah, footage of a masked man approaching the front door of the house is one of the only clues investigators have had to go on in this mysterious case that has yielded no answer for Guthrie's suffering family. And she stated specifically, "We thank the people of Tucson for holding her in their hearts, as well as both the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Office for their tireless work on behalf of our family. Bring her home." Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos told KOLD News 13 that they are still actively investigating the case and are currently pursuing new leads around DNA evidence. Yeah, I didn't hear that radio interview. I mean, I knew that he had done it, but I haven't listened to it yet. Hey, Nathan. Pauline says, a very quiet 4th here so far. It's as quiet as I've ever heard Los Angeles be. Hello, Drago. 2-story 1982. So sick of the fireworks at this point every night for weeks around midnight. Yeah, I only heard them a little bit last night at 9 when I was doing my sound test. It's been super quiet. I've even read that on Threads today, that it's super quiet here in Los Angeles so far. However, at night, I'm sure it'll be picking up. But they're illegal here, but people still do them. Okay. So sheriff says that they're working on a new lead or pursuing new leads around DNA evidence. So I wonder if they know something we don't know. And then they state, or he states, especially when you throw in genealogy now, you've got this may not be the bad guy, but this person might be the bad guy's relative 3 times over. Yes, says Nanos. So that has to be broken down to see if this might be someone of interest to us. So I'm wondering if they've gotten a hit on the rootless hair strand. That's interesting. Or there's some other evidence we don't know about. Meanwhile, the FBI has been investigating numerous reports of ransom notes that were sent to media outlets, including TMZ. Yeah, that's been going back and forth. I just saw another interview today with Harvey Levin and Mark Garagos. There seems to be a lot of dissension right now within the FBI. Now, the article goes on to state that on Thursday, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Arizona and Los Angeles, let's start that again. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Arizona said Los Angeles man Derek Kelsa, 42, had pleaded guilty to 2 counts of harassment using a telecommunication device for sending fake ransom notes. Kelsa faces a maximum sentence of 2 years imprisonment, a $250,000 fine, or both. The guilty plea comes as claims emerged that none of the ransom notes sent to the family were genuine. Yeah, well, apparently the FBI, I found out today, the FBI leaked that story intentionally to Reuters about all of the ransom notes being fake because they knew that Kelsa was going to court on the 3rd, and for some reason they leaked that out like on the 2nd. Like we got you, So stupid. But yet there are many agents involved in this case, and they're not all on the same page. Because after that got leaked, and then Kelsa got pled guilty, FBI then put up a written statement saying that they are still actively pursuing this case as a kidnapping for ransom. Are there other ransom notes we don't know about? Are there other suspects that they're getting ready to arrest regarding fake ransoms? They're throwing out conflicting information. You know what? I already took my shower today, real talk. Uh-oh. Connie, Mark the Shark stayed in a casita of one of Nancy's neighbors the past couple of days. He interviewed a couple of Nancy's neighbors and did a little update in front of Nancy's house. It looks sad. I didn't see that. Let's see. James says her mother is in a septic tank in the neighborhood. Why would you say that? Stax says happy 4th of July. Thank you. Yeah, I know they already checked Nancy's septic tank. Yeah, we don't know. How do you know that? Please, let the chat know. If you really know, call the FBI. Let them know exactly where, so they can go look for her. You know, and it is possible that she still could be in the neighborhood. I've said that from day one. Oh, here we go. Stacks 6165 with the $2 first super chat of the day. Happy 4th of July. April and chat. Love the lives. Well, we love you being here, Stacks. Oh, now somebody's sending me a flow state. Let's see who that is. It covers the whole bottom of the screen. When it comes up, it's so big. Simply Darcy Marie. Thank you. Where is Brian Anton's news on Colello's pending sentencing trial? I don't know. You'd have to ask Brian, Hobble One. You know, and I did clear up yesterday the confusion because, you know, the press ran with the fact that Colello was, oh, he pleaded guilty and he's got probation. Like, no, that's not exactly the case. He still has a sentencing hearing on September 10th. And I also mentioned, or we talked about this yesterday, and then while I was doing the sound test last night, which was just a mic sound test, I had a message for my member, Bruce Davis, and then I saw him later in the middle of the night. I saw him over in the Juices live, and I was like, hey, I was talking about you earlier, Bruce. And he's like, oh, I'll have to come into another live and hear what you have to say. You look like you solved the world's most boring murder mysteries. Okay, see ya. Oh, thank you for the emojis, Sandra. Yeah, those are the YouTube emojis. You only get like the custom ones if you're our channel member. Hubble One says Ashley Banfield messed up again. I must have missed it. You know, I did see like a clip of her coming on today. I don't know when it was recorded. Connie sent 5 memberships. You didn't need to do that just because I was thanking you for contributing to our friend DeJuice, but you didn't need to do that. But thank you. Karen Utz, congratulations. I'm trying to pronounce it right. We'll just say Bloom. Bonnie Walker. I haven't seen Bonnie before. Track Barker. And Quentin Broom. Hey, Quentin, I saw you last night too, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, you didn't have to do that, Connie, but thank you so much. That'll help because I was just looking at my emojis on the back end before I went live, and they're like, you're going to need 5 more members before you can add 1 more custom emoji. And I was like, I thought I got enough this week already, but they keep like, I guess maybe because some of the free members, they don't renew, and then the membership goes down, the numbers go down, and they're like, you still need another 5. And I thought, well, that's weird because earlier this week they said you only need another 4 to add emoji number 11. And how did it go up to 5 when I've added more? Like that number should be going down. So then I thought, oh, I bet a lot of the free ones that I hand out like twice a month, they probably like didn't renew or something. And so my numbers dropped. And then they went, you're going to need 5 more. So that came in at the perfect time. That'll give me something to do tonight to make that 11th custom emoji. So, yeah, I had not heard this statement from Savannah. I do know that today, I didn't see it, but she was on the Today Show live in New York City, and you see the harbor like in the background, and I guess the Statue of Liberty, and Al Roker came by on a Coast Guard ship or something, and she looked really cute, as she always does. I guess it was her and Craig Melvin and They were like live on location in New York City. Curtis says, "Happy birthday, America, 250 years." Yes, sir. Thank you for all the emojis that people are putting up. Let's see. Now, this article I just read you, it just ends with something we already know. It says Nancy Guthrie was last seen on January 31st by her family. She is believed to have been taken in the early hours of February 1st, yada, yada, yada. Her family reported her missing when she failed to attend a church service that day. Yes, but remember, we still have the two different timelines. And even though Derek Colella, he did plead guilty, and apparently he's got a meth issue, apparently, I wanted to make it clear to Bruce, if he comes in or he watches the replay, that apparently Bruce was right, that he was apparently taken away by the U.S. Marshals. That news thing that I saw, and it showed him walking out, that must have been a clip of him walking in. Oh gosh, you know what? We're going to have to start actually blocking people because the same yahoos come in every day. Okay, back to Ashley Banfield. Hobble One says, check out the recent drop dead series Banfield Goes Postal. I'll have to see that. I did see a clip of her earlier today. I don't know when it was recorded, but I almost didn't recognize her. And I was like, huh? Like, let me go get my reading glasses. Like, why does she look different? And then I thought, did she just have some surgery? Because she looked like it almost looked like a different person. But then I noticed like her background, and I'm like, yeah, that's where she records her live. So does anybody know, did Ashley Banfield have some surgery like in the last few days? Because she looked, or she was using a filter or something. She just didn't look the same. And I was like, wow. And then I started thinking back to how she looked years ago when she had, different hairstyles. She had shorter hair, darker hair, and she had the big, like clunky glasses. And I'm like, that doesn't even look like the same person anymore. But how did she change from like last week to this week? So, I don't know. Botox? I don't know. I'm at my age, I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy to say, hey, I live to see another holiday or another birthday or another Christmas or New Year's, even though I'm not doing anything. I'm just, going to stay home with the pets, and I'm going to make my usual turkey burger. I might get really wild and make some frozen French fries to go with it. Like, woo! Of course, it's going to heat up my whole place because we're going to have quite a toasty July here. It's going to be like 80s. I even saw like a 92 pop up on the extended forecast, and that's way too hot for LA in July. And it's really cloudy today here too, which is unusual. And I am concerned about one thing, just off topic from Nancy. I am watching in the background the Big Bear baby eaglets. There was an accident last week where one accidentally fell out of the nest before she was ready to fly, can I speak. She may have been somewhat injured because she spent the next several days like on the ground, like on boulders. The mother guarded her, but she does have enough lift now where she was able to make it to the top of the trees. She was able to make it with her brother back into the actual nest where they were born, and they've been chilling there the last few days. And tonight at Big Bear, there's going to be this huge, July 4th, 250th birthday celebration. They did it last year too. And by that time, though, the babies had already left the nest because they were born earlier in the year. Remember, this is a second clutch. They were born much later. They have just learned to fly within the last week, and one was injured. So they're very calmly sitting in the nest. They've been fed by the parents multiple times today, but there's going to be a very loud fireworks show on the other side of the lake in the city of Big Bear. This is going to be a dangerous situation, not just for the babies, but for the parents. And if everybody could just say a prayer that our bald eagles here in Southern California, that they survive the night. It's terrible enough that there may be some real estate development happening there, and that the group, which is Friends of Big Bear Valley, need $10 million to save their nest. And they've collected millions, but nowhere near 10 million. And there's been all kinds of petitions that have been put out this month that have been signed saying don't do the fireworks show. And it's very windy there tonight too as well. So here they are sitting in the nest, recovering from their first few days of of being eagles, being fledglings now, because they fledged, and now, this big giant fireworks show like you're seeing on my green screen is going to happen tonight. So everybody here, just pray for the Eagles. I still want to talk about Nancy Guthrie, but this is really heavy on my heart today. That's why I've been watching them all day, because I don't know if this is going to be the last time I ever see these babies. Hello from Scotland, says Elizabeth Jones. Welcome in. Gosh, yesterday we had Iceland, we had Israel, Canada. Did we have Australia or New Zealand? We had a bunch of countries that came in yesterday. Crazy. Anything new? Stacks? No, except that I did read the statement where Savannah actually made a statement to KOLD News last week. So, well, the first. It wasn't last week. So she made a statement. Well, actually, it was Chris Nanos that made the statement on KOLD News. But she did make a statement and said that we thank the people of Tucson for holding her in their hearts, as well as both the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Office for their tireless work on behalf of our family. Bring her home. Yeah. So they still want their mother back. People have been knocking them, acting like, oh, well, they don't care, and they've gone on with their lives. It bothers me that Annie and Tommaso have disappeared, obviously, because they were the caregivers. They lived 10 minutes from her. They should be out pounding the doors and walking the sidewalks, hitting the concrete, looking for her. But remember, they were in hiding right away, and then didn't have a car for 41 days and had to move out of their house because the police and the FBI spent more time investigating their house than they did the scene of the crime. That's still sus to me. I'm not saying that anybody's guilty. Remember, everybody on my channel is innocent until proven guilty. Yes, Brian, it was Norway. We had Norway. And I got some Norwegian crones. I didn't even know what those were. Hubble one says the owls here could be displaced by the noise. Yes, there's tons of owls at Big Bear. And by the way, this eagle nest that the whole world watches, well, especially us here in California, and more specifically Southern California, it's not the only nest. It's just the only nest that they have cameras on. There's Cam 1 and Cam 2. Cam 2 shows some of the trees around the area, but there are other eaglets that have had babies because they have been seen. Some more young eaglets have been seen just this past week. There are other nests there. There are other babies in the area that, the world can't see. It's just, this could be devastation tonight. Nanette says, praying to St. Francis for their healing and safety. Thank you, Nanette. Let's see. Yeah, so that was the only thing new, Stacks, on Nancy. Now, I am still bothered. We talked about this a little yesterday. I'm still bothered that, remember, Derek Colella, they're like, oh, he was just some random faker who was trying to get money. But if he was trying to get money and he was like, hey, how about my Bitcoin? Like, I'd like to complete the transaction. The fact that he didn't mention Nancy Guthrie, he didn't mention any of the Guthries, he didn't mention that there was a kidnapping, he acted like he was already in a business relationship with somebody involved in this. And then he was like, hey, what about my Bitcoin? Don't you find it strange, in case you weren't here yesterday, don't you find it strange that in those text ransoms that he never said, this is where you send the money? I mean, would you really commit a federal crime like that and risk going to federal prison, which he may very well go to for 2 years? Would you risk going to federal prison to send a fake text and then not tell the person where to put the money? And this was at the very beginning of the case. This was early on. This was like the 4th. That seems strange to me. It seems very strange to me. Especially since he's in the same type of band that Tommaso's in. Tommaso being in Early Black, Derek being in The Secret Mutilator. Allegedly, they have the same band promoter, this DJ Mojico, is it? Mojito? This case has been going on almost 6 months now. It's 5 months and 4 days to be exact. Day number 154. Like, there's so many yahoos in this case, whether they're involved in the kidnapping or not, that it seems like Tucson's a very small town. And even people in Hawthorne, California, which is probably, 8-9 hours away from Tucson, seem to be involved with people in Tucson. It seems like everybody in this three-ring circus somehow is connected to the other characters through the 6 degrees of separation. It's not like this is just some random dude that's in Hawthorne, California. No, this is a random dude who may have a connection through his music to some of the people of Tucson. Well, Lisa, everybody watching cares. All 66 of you. Well, I should say 65, because we're going to take you out, Lisa. See ya. Lori says, I think if my mom had been kidnapped, I'd be scared to put it out in public, too. I don't know what this means, but we're taking him out, too. Hey, let them 66, welcome in. Where is everybody coming in from on this 4th of July? Nanette says, I find it very strange. He supposedly was really high when he made the calls. Well, he sent text, and he had to know how to supposedly go on the internet and look up numbers. Now, I'm not convinced that's where he got the numbers, but he claims that he did. I mean, maybe they looked at his computer and went, oh yeah, he was looking for numbers. But if you're going to ask somebody for ransom, you need to make a demand where it's to be sent. He wasn't saying, dear Savannah, we have your mother. We are demanding 4 million Bitcoin by this day. If not paid, we want 6 million, which that's weird too, that it wasn't laid in the house or with the family and it went to the news agencies, 24 hours or more later. That's bizarro too. That could all be faked or red herrings, or it's going to be the weirdest kidnapping for ransom in history. Things just don't go down like that. Mojito, that was his name. Yes, Mojito matches Monk's composite to me. Oh, I haven't seen that. I know who that guy is, but I haven't seen that. Mino, pause, is in Australia. Welcome, Australia. Pauline, Central Coast in California. Simply Darcy, upstate New York. Elizabeth Jones is glad to be here. Sandy, Kansas here. Happy 4th of July. Well, we're going to add you to the Sandys, the Susans, the Suzannes, the Sues. Wow. Elizabeth, I'm near Edinburgh, Scotland. Awesome. And she says, happy 4th of July. Where's everybody coming in from? Let me know. Hey, Boston Bill. We know where you are, Boston Bill. What's it like in Boston today? Wow. And Nanette, she's in San Diego. So I got some fellow Calians in here today. Cool. Very, very hot. I think it's probably in the low 80s here for now. But we're going to have a hotter than normal July here, which I'm not looking forward to because, my AC for the last almost 13 years has always been on its last leg and never makes it through the summer heat waves. And then they put another Band-Aid on it to keep it going. Elizabeth says 1:29 a.m. here. It's already July 5th there. Lori says, I'm in Moore, home of Toby Keith. Knew him since he was a child, been playing as courtesy of the red, white, and blue all day. In Moore. What state is that in? Is that Oklahoma? Where is Moore? Stack says it's finally cooled down in Ohio. Well, that's good. Texas says Texas Diane, 102. Hello, Maggie Fleet. SR71. Texas. Oh, I just heard the little ding ding. Yesterday the count got up to 3580, but overnight we lost like 3 ticks. And I'm like, huh? How does that happen when I'm sleeping? That it went from 3580 to 3577, which means the little thunderstorm, sound went off on my LaMetric clock. Now it's back to 35.80. So we're back even where we started. We got to gain more because there's always a couple that fall off during, a day's time or a week's time. But, you know, yesterday it was like, okay, we went up a few notches, we went down a few notches. We didn't make any progress. Mino says it's winter here in Australia and cold. Wow, I have a friend that lives in Adelaide. That's just, it's amazing because that means when you have Christmas in Australia, it's summer. Lori Smith says, yes, Oklahoma. Nanette, it was 91 in my corner of San Diego. Oh my God, that never happens in San Diego. It's like 72 to 73 year round. That's crazy. Ash Cash says, from Ohio, about to storm. I wish we'd have a storm here in Big Bear. It's been cloudy all over today, so there must be some sort of monsoonal moisture coming up from Mexico because it's very unusual to have a cloudy July 4th. Lori Smith coming in with a $2 super chat. Let me go back to my main screen here so I can heart that. Everybody give Lori a like. Oh yeah, that's the second one of the day. Wow, we've already got 2 super chats and 5 gifted memberships. Connie! Severe weather here in Minnesota. You know, I almost wore my Twins shirt today, but then I grabbed my Warner Brothers shirt, my Tweety and Bugs Bunny shirt. But that's like my favorite shirt, the one that the Minnesota Twins sent me. And you know, the Twins have a Dodger. They had a Dodger, and he didn't do well, and they got rid of him. And he went to Detroit, and he's just tearing it up there. I don't know if you're a baseball person, but James Outman. Leanne, I'm in Richmond, Virginia. It was over 100. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the gold coin. Mostly Dolls Helicopters. I must have turned to look at the screen. Oh, you love the Warner Brothers store. Yeah, I have a lot of Warner Brothers stuff. Just I did a lot of work for them over the years. Of course, my pride and joy is my I have my own Tiny Toons animation cell. That's me and Babs and Buster Bunny. Yes, there's a few places on the beach. It looked bad, awful. Where was that? My late husband was a Twins fan. Oh, okay. You know, one of my favorite players of all time is pitcher Joe Kelly, and his wife's name is Ashley Parks. And I didn't know this until a few years ago, but her dad was Derek Parks, and he was in the Twins organization for years as a catcher. And I'm like, I didn't know that Ashley Parks, the wife of Joe Kelly, came from a baseball family. And then she married, like, a guy that she knew since college. And now they're like millionaires. Probably times 100 or so. But yet her dad was in the minors for most of his career. What a tough life that would be. You had a Teoscar Hernandez here in Oklahoma City when he was rehabbing. Yeah, he hit that winning grand slam yesterday while I was talking to you guys, and I missed it. I was like, I missed it. But I've seen it on replay like 20 times. Yeah, that's cool that the Dodgers, they have their AA in Tulsa and their AAA in Oklahoma City. Let's see. Sadie, or Sandy. I saw something on the computer flash, but it didn't flash on my phone. I guess my phone is a few seconds behind the computer screen. But thank you for the Sunday. Ash says, my oldest son will be 20 on July 20th. He loves baseball, always have. My Thai son, he's in his 30s now. He has a birthday tomorrow. But I just realized that on July 13th, and that's her actual birthday, which it's so rare for me to know my pet's actual birthdays. But on July 13th, Kelsa will be 3 years old. And on July 31st, it will be the adoption day the adoption birthday for Amelia Kinsley Bunny. Lauren, or Lori. Lori, I saw you last night, Lori. Let me see what you sent. It's so big on the screen. The finger heart. Thank you. I saw you last night in the Juices show. Welcome in, Lori. I hadn't seen you a while on my show. I was happy to see you. Like, oh, you're still out there. How do I get my card to work to play you? How do I get my card to work? What are you asking? Ask again, Sandra. There may be like... Connie sent the high five. High five back to you. How is my beautiful flight attendant doing? Well, not my beautiful, but you know what I mean. The beautiful Lori M. The gorgeous flight attendant who has actually met Savannah Guthrie. Yeah, on one of your flights. No, Ash, he did not. I think it's sometime this month yet to what day is? Does anybody know what DeJuice's trial date is? Lori says, yes, I'm a night owl. Me too. I saw Nanette there. I saw Lori there. I saw Connie there. I saw Bruce Davis, who was, he's a new member to my channel. He's actually a channel member now. I think he got one of the free memberships or something, but he's in the Philippines. Like, I saw him last night. Kinsley from Canada. Oh my God, we got Scotland in here. We got Canada. Of course, obviously the U.S. Any other countries in here right now? Oh, we got Mostly Dolls Helicopters from Canada. We got New York and Minnesota and Oklahoma, California. Pauline said she tried to be there. Yeah, I was there for about maybe a few hours, and then I just had to go to sleep. And then I still couldn't fall asleep right away, but I was just so like, you know, like I wouldn't have wanted to do like a call-in last night because I was just too tired. But I really wanted to talk about the kidnapping aspect of this with him because, you know, the Juice, he's kind of on the same wavelength as I am, that he really questions the ransom notes and he really questions, is this a legit kidnapping or not? Let Them 66 is in Michigan. Yeah, does anybody know the Juice's court date? Because, you know, besides praying for my Eagles tonight, all of them, the mom, the dad, and the babies, that would be Shadow and Jackie are the parents. And the babies are believed to be one boy, one girl. They're not 100%, but they're getting there. Sandy and Luna, based on their size and their chordals, they can kind of tell that one's a boy and one's a girl. Let's hope that this whole family stays safe tonight. Did you see on DeJuice's episode, he was talking about how he wasn't going to do a big thing for July 4th, but he bought a few fireworks for the kids, and then he reaches over and he's got like something the size of a hefty bag. He's like, yeah, just a few. And I'm like, oh my God, if you did that in California, you'd be in jail, man. Like, there's no fireworks here. I mean, it happens, but they're all illegal unless it's one of those, you know, like a show that's put on by the city or, you know. Lori M., welcome to level 1. I'm going to give you a horn just for that, Lori. That is so cool because I think I have enough new members today, especially with the gifts that Connie threw out to the chat, that I can get my 11th emoji tonight. And I might have to jump ahead and do a seasonal one because they don't give them to me very often. First it was 4, then it was 9, then it crawled to 10. So I put the pumpkin one, even though it's a little early for Halloween, but you know, in LA, it starts on July 5th, so that'll be tomorrow. So I guess I got that pumpkin one up just in time. So I might jump ahead to, you know, Thanksgiving or Christmas or something. I'll be able to add one more tonight to the custom emojis. And by the way, you guys that can use them, the members in the chats, you can also use those custom emojis when you're making comments on the replays of the video. Whether you're watching a live replay or you're just watching like an actual video under the video tab, or even a short, I guess, you can always use the custom April Davis PI emojis. Pauline says it's a $1,000 fine here. Yeah, they're highly illegal here. But I'll still hear them. But in my part of town, it's not going to be as bad as some parts of town. Uh, let's see. September is Derek Collella's sentencing hearing, Sandra. Nanette said it's the third week of July, I believe. I thought it was somewhere around then. Ash Cash said the city did our fireworks last night. Oh, thank you, Lori. She says, sometimes I miss when you are live, but I watch every single replay no matter what. And you're 3 hours ahead, right, Lori? I don't want to call out, where you live, unless you want to say it. But I know you're across the coast, or across the U.S. on a different coast. Yeah, the drones are cool. I wish they were doing that at Big Bear, because our eagle family, that means so much. I mean, it will be devastating if something happens to these babies or even the parents, because the babies are still being fed by the parents. They're just learning to fly, and one accidentally got knocked out of the nest last week. Connie, we have green sky and hail. And where are you again, Connie? Can you say it one more time? Because there's so many cities coming up. My cat is terrified. Oh, my cat's going to be terrified tonight too. We heard it a little bit last night. Oh, Minnesota. Yes, Minnesota. I'm sorry I wasn't wearing my Twins jersey. I'll wear it next show. How about that? I'll wear it just for Connie. Mostly Dolls Helicopters coming in with the 100 joules. Wow, the joules are up to 556. See, that makes a difference. Oh, I didn't see that. Is that like Fugitive TV? I don't even know what that is. Is that on the internet, or is that on like cable? Or she says Fugitive TV did a live today about or is that a YouTube channel? Because I'd love to watch it if it's a YouTube channel. A Fugitive TV did a live today about the Derek dude. Great information. Sandra thought it was September. Wrong. No problems. You're probably thinking about Colella's. Dublin. I am American. Now, had my father, when he moved to Canada, moved, a good 5 to 10 years earlier than he did, then I would be Canadian too, like he is. But I was already grown up by the time he made that Canadian move. He's a YouTube streamer. Oh, okay. Fugitive TV. Let me write that down. I get so many recommendations, but I just don't have time for everything. Green sky. That's when we lived in the South, that was very bad when that happened. And apparently you guys that are members, if we're on a vertical live, you can go over to the super chat button and highlight membership, and then your membership will like pop up on the screen. I think YouTube allows you to do that like once a month, and it doesn't cost anything, to just remind everybody in the chat that you are a member. V-Miss, welcome in, my friend. I saw you last night too. A lot of my friends in here today were were watching from the chat the show last night with the Juice. V-Miss, let's see, Nanette, and Mostly Dolls Helicopters coming in with the sparkles. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. David Drummer, what? Oh, gosh. Don't you have anything better to do on a holiday? Yeah, and I'm not even putting them in the timeout anymore. I'm just going straight to the block button now, because I'm just sick of all this. It just distracts from the chat. Doesn't bother me, but it distracts from you guys. Uh-oh. Steve, one warning, and one warning only. Be good. This is your last chance, because you won't be timed out this time. You will be permanently blocked. So don't be a spammer, Steve. Don't be a spammer. Elijah used to say that too, and Elijah's permanently gone. Vima says, yes, ma'am, couldn't sleep. I was so happy to see Juice was on, and then you and Annette, too. Yeah. And Lori was in there, too. Lori M. And she just checked in. Yeah, a lot of us were on there. But I didn't go on the show last night. I was just, like, listening like everybody else. I wasn't even awake by the time he even got to the phone calls. Because, you know, at some point, I got to get up in the morning and take my my morning meds for my heart. So yeah, a bunch of you guys were in there last night. It's so neat to meet all you guys, you know, through this. You know, it's terrible that there's such a tragedy that's brought us all together. Sandra was there. Oh, I didn't see you. Oh, was Ash Cash there? I didn't see her either. I saw Nanette, and I saw VMiss 5, and I saw obviously Connie, who's just generously throwing out the free memberships, not only to me, but to DeJuice, which is, I'm so glad that people are supporting him. I try to throw him a super chat and the jewels whenever I can. I even bought some more jewels and reloaded my balance, but I threw them all out to him, and now my balance is at 0 again. And I won't be getting my June YouTube check till at least, at the earliest, July 21st. And it's only the 4th. Boy, you know, the days usually just fly by for me, but when you're waiting for a check, then the days crawl. Yeah, he is a nice guy, isn't he, Nanette? There's a camaraderie amongst YouTubers now. Definitely the YouTubers that are involved in the Nancy Guthrie case. VMiss says, yes, a tragedy has brought us together, which is good. I am too shy to call on the show. Oh, he'd probably love to speak to you. Oh, Callie Girl was there too. Wow. Oh, now she's here right now. Just go to his YouTube channel, DeJuice. Margaret. Now, you know what? Somebody's been sending me messages about that, Margaret. I'm glad you brought that up. Did anybody else see Ashley Banfield have a gin and tonic on the air? I didn't see it, but I was getting, somebody was blowing up one of my videos last night with comments about her. And I was like, huh? What are you talking about? Hey, Jay. What's that about? YouTube doesn't allow that. I mean, I don't drink alcohol anyway, because, you know, I'm a walking medical disaster. But even before my breast cancer, I very rarely ever had a drink. You know, I'm just not a big drinker. Never was. Don't even have any alcohol in my house. Of course, you know. So somebody said that Ashley Banfield had a gin and tonic on her show? You've seen her drink a glass of wine. You're not supposed to do that on YouTube. I see people do it on Whatnot, and they get away with it. But on YouTube, she was mad about Derek C. I'm mad about Derek C., but even if I was a drinker, which I'm not, I would never drink on the air. Is that for real? And then somebody came into my comments and was very upset with her, saying that she was the one that ran with the story that Derek had got probation, and that was it. And then all the news agencies ran with it, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, this isn't even a sentencing hearing. How could they already know what he got? I mean, his attorney said, we want this for that, and then he'll plead guilty, but nothing's been decided in stone yet, except that he has to go to mandatory rehab because he failed the urine test. Jay says only non-alcoholic drinks. You mean for you or for Ashley Banfield? And she was using the F word multiple times. You know, I slipped yesterday and said it once, and I apologize to everybody. Oh, you're talking about yourself, Jay. Yeah, good for you. Like, yeah. I don't have any alcohol in my house. Um, okay, Hobble One, you were the one that told me. Thank you for saying that. Check out the Drop Dead Serious. She was wrong about his sentence. She started the story. Is that true? Is she the one that ran with it and then everybody else ran with it? Because even when I heard the story about all the ransom notes are fake, and even Brian Enton was careful to say, well, slow down, everybody. And I said the same thing on my live, like, has this been confirmed with the FBI? And now we know that someone within the FBI dropped that story or leaked it intentionally to Reuters. And then everybody went wild and said, oh my God, all the ransoms are fake. And then, they waited for Derek Colella to have his hearing. And then the next day, the FBI, was it the next day or later that day? Then they did a written statement, which I read here on my live, that says they're still investigating this case as a kidnapping for ransom, and that, some of the notes have been found to be fraudulent or fakes or scams, but maybe not all of them. So we're back to where we started. And I still say that no matter how many notes there are, and no matter who knew them, even if somebody who knows something about this case wrote the first two, that it still doesn't mean that it was a kidnapping for ransom, because those could have been red herrings from day one to throw everybody off the trail like, oh, this is a kidnapping. And it might be a kidnapping. But if it is a kidnapping, there'll never be another one like this. And there's never been one before like this. And I think that's why the FBI didn't just go ahead and shell out the money, because, Savannah Guthrie being a famous person, and this case being, bigger than life right now, then, all other kidnappings would then, happen afterwards, and everybody would expect to get the money. Like, you can't just throw out money like that without proof of life. So I understand why they didn't pay it. Vimas says she doesn't drink. Yeah, I didn't drink even before I had my cancer. Like, very, very rare. But was she drinking on the air? I mean, that's enough to get you taken off YouTube. I think they're being more lenient on the cursing now. Because if they ever take me down for that, I'll fight it. Because, even the big famous people, Ashley Kelly, we were talking about her. Oh my God. Megan Kelly. And she throws the F-bombs all the time. And she's still on. But I've never seen her, drink. But I mean, I don't watch her very often. But I didn't see that. I heard about that, Nanette, that another lab worker is missing. Anthony Chavez. Yes, I've heard about that. So she went ballistic over a lie she started. Maybe that drove her to drink. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see it. So I can't say that it's true or it isn't true, but, I've been hearing a lot about that. So, yeah, I got to wonder. That's why Kick is better than YouTube. You could fornicate on Kick without getting banned as long as you don't show it, but Audible is perfectly fine. Well, we're not going to do that. Oh, gosh. Oh, thank you for the star. Mostly Dolls Helicopters. Ashley Banfield has gotten just a little different these days. Like I said, I saw her before I came on the air, and I almost didn't recognize her, and I was like, what happened to her face? Hey, Karen. Another Karen to add to the list of Karens. Karen Lionheart says, hi, I'm new here. Well, welcome in. I hope you're subscribed to my channel, Karen. And if you want to catch up on all the Nancy Guthrie news, feel free to go to the Nancy Guthrie playlist or the True Crime playlist. He was not talking about Nancy. Who wasn't talking about Nancy? What have I missed? Dime, I don't care. Time out. Wow. Lots of people cuss on YouTube. Yeah, I slipped a few times yesterday. I'm sorry. But I think I only said the F word once, but still, I don't like to do that. But like I said, all you guys feel like my friends or my family, and then, I slipped. And I apologize for it. Thank you for, what was that? Who sent it? This chat is behind the computer chat. Suzanne, 8264, sent the makeup brush. Okay. There we go. So Mark the Shark spoke to some of Nancy's neighbors. He said they were very nice, and all of them said, no way, Annie or Tommaso. Interesting. Yeah, thanks for reporting that, VMS. Yeah, I don't know if they're involved or they're not involved at all. Even if I knew, I wouldn't say, but I really, truthfully, I don't know. Like, I don't think they're connected to anybody that was at that front door. I don't think people were like, oh, it was Derek Colella. It wasn't Derek Colella, the masked man at the door. He's not porch guy. Doesn't mean he doesn't know more than what we think he knows or doesn't know, but I don't think he was front porch guy. And I definitely don't think it was Annie and Tommaso as far as being on, on the goon end of the crew. Remember, she was a famous person, or she was the mother of a famous person, and that automatically puts a giant bullseye on her back. In Savannah's, it's like a giant bullseye. Hi from steamy Toronto. Odd Alice, welcome back. Wow, now we got Canada, we have Scotland, the United States. Where else did we have today? What other countries have we had today? Welcome in, Renee Brown. Happy 4th. Yes, he did rent an Airbnb out there. He went and was very respectful and said he was using his First Amendment rights on Independence Day. Who, VMS? Who rented an Airbnb? Was it Mark the Shark? And then he went to the neighbors? Who are we talking about? Who rented an Airbnb? Hey, Marcy, welcome. Oh, Mark the Shark, okay. Yeah, I can't possibly follow everybody. It's taking up more of my time and giving me less sleep than I had before, now to be watching the juice. Oh. Is it working? Can you guys hear me? Let me go turn on my audio here. There's going to be a little reverb here. He went and was very respectful and said he was using his First Amendment rights on Independence Day. Who, VMS? Okay, I'm hearing it on my end. You hear me just fine? Oh, you might want to come out and come back in if you're having like an audio or a video issue. Hey, Kinsley. Also, one of our Canadian friends. I was like, oh no, because I tested them for over an hour last night, and I charged them. They worked just fine. Scared me. And because remember, on this, I can't see the green light. It's over here. I can't see it. The Jersey lady says she hears me. Okay. Cali Girl on Fire, I hear you fine too. Yeah, Kinsley, maybe you should sign off and sign back in. Whew, scared me. I'm like, oh my God, what happened to my audio? What happened to my sound? Yeah, I just noticed something too. I set my goal today, and I know a lot of you guys have contributed today, but I don't see the little bullseye at the bottom that says like 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 or 3. I just see a timer. Maybe that part disappeared because it's telling me a minute and 30 seconds left. That's weird. I don't see because that button's been weird lately. Sleuth was checking out Ace, Splinter, and the used car lot. Oh, the used car lot. I can't say too much about that. And I can't tell you why. Maybe someday, when this is all over. It says 4 out of 10. Okay, you guys can see it. I can't see that. Maybe because it's telling me, it's flashing at me with a timer, like reminding me. It says 4 out of 10. Okay, thank you for letting me know, Pauline. You still have a little green light on the mic. Yes, but you know, the one thing that this is the only thing that is, this is such a much better system than I had before by far. This is a better system, but it bothers me that I don't have the green go light and the blue Wi-Fi light on the top. In fact, this doesn't even have the Wi-Fi light. So I have to go like this and like, or somebody has to tell me like, I can't hear you. Oh, you can see the timer. And you guys can also see the 4 out of 10. See, I can't see the 4 out of 10 right now. It's just gone on my end. He was checking out the Teslas on their lot. Okay. Oh, now I see 4 out of 10. Now that the timer went. Okay. Maybe it just switched from 4 out of 10 to timer. And it's saying, now it's flashing at me that the goal has ended. Okay. And if I switch it to the gift goal, then I can't switch it back because then it gets stuck. So I'm just going to put it for 30 minutes, even though I'm not going to be on here that long. And you guys don't have to do anything, but I gotta set something, because if I don't, it'll keep flashing at me. So I have to reset it so that it's not going blank, 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 and it distracts me. Oh, it came back. Okay. Yeah, I just set it just so it'll stop flashing. I don't think it flashes on your end, but it flashes on my end, and every so many minutes, it'll be like, hey, I don't like that. Because the chat on my phone is like this small. I can only see 4 to 5 lines at a time. And when it's rolling really quick, and then you throw my vertigo in on top of it, stuff like that gets to my ADHD. Are you a grandma? No. But sort of technically, or no, I'm not. But I do have a Thai family, and I have 2 like Thai sponsor kids, and one of them has 2 babies now. But I'm an auntie. I'm Auntie April. So no, I'm not a grandma. And both of my pets are spayed, so no chance of kittens or baby bunnies. I'm old enough to be a grandma, but not even a mom. But I do consider myself a mom because I have my Thai daughter, my Thai son for my sponsor kids, and I have my pets. And my Thai son, my Thai sponsor son, he has a big birthday coming tomorrow, but it's his work day. It's his busiest day of the week, so I don't think he'll be able to get a day off for his birthday. And then it's Kelsa Kitty's birthday, her actual birthday, on July the 13th, and she'll be 3. And Kelsa Kinsley Bunny, Amelia Kinsley Bunny. It's getting confusing. I'm getting old. Amelia Kinsley Bunny will have her 4th adoption birthday on the 31st. I'm not a foster parent, but I do sponsor a family from another country. Yes, Renee says, pets definitely count. I'm almost 50. I don't have any kids, but I've got my 3 fur babies. Absolutely. I just hope I live long enough with everything that's wrong with me to take care of these ones that I have. Now, technically, the bunny, she's already 4, but we don't know her exact date of birth, but we know approximate. But I do celebrate the day she was adopted, which was July 31st. And sadly, I adopted Kelsa just a few months after she was born, like in October. She was born July 13th. I got her in October, and then by November, my health completely collapsed. That's when all my cancer treatment side effects started. And, since I've had her, I've been in the hospital 17 times. I sponsor a family from another country. Fireworks and lightning in front of your house. That's exciting, Jay. It's like the quietest day in Los Angeles. It sounds like, it does on Christmas here, where it's like, it's dead. I haven't even had like a neighbor. I saw an Amazon guy walk by and I was like, oh, I didn't know they were working today. And I saw a neighbor out in the driveway. I had to take that old rug out, which was very heavy. It was hard for me to do, but because I got the cane. But I walked down the driveway with the cane and the rolled up old rug, since the bunny got a new rug today. And I saw like some neighbors that just had a baby, like going to their car. They were, probably going to a July 4th thing with family. And like, that's it. Like, usually the lobby door is slamming all day long. Like, it is quiet here right now. Yeah, Sandra, I've explained it many times. I have a family that I sponsor from Thailand. And I've known them for 21 years. Wait till tonight. Yeah, there'll be a few boom booms here, but a lot of people, even though it's the 250th birthday of our country, a lot of people are not feeling patriotic right now. A lot of people are upset right now, and a lot of people are saying, screw it, I'm staying home and locking my doors and staying with my pets. Stay off the roads tonight. Fur babies are the best. I just have my big fur baby. You have a horse? He hates fireworks. And he will be given CBD. Oh, wow. Is that a horse? And what's a farrier? Is that like a horse doctor? I'm sorry, you have a horse. Oh, that's amazing. Awesome. Yeah, you'd be hugging him tonight, Nanette. When did I get diagnosed? 2019. That's so cool. You have a horse. Oh, I'd love you to send me a picture of your horse. Amazon workers don't get any days off. Could you share the background behind your Thai family? Yeah, I sponsor a family from Thailand. Oh, Cali Girl on Fire. It's true. My friend and I said that at the parade this morning. We dressed the part, though. Farriers are awesome with horses. I'll have to look that up. I just dropped my stylus on my little boogie board that I take the notes on. I still have my notes from yesterday. It says Thor and Ethel. Or no, it says Thor and Gretel. Those were the German couple that came in from Iceland last night. And I wrote down today, I wrote Fugitive TV, because I got to check that out. I can't remember why. Somebody remind me why I have to look at Fugitive TV. Remind me. Who told me to watch something on Fugitive TV? That's a YouTube channel. I just figured this out. This has nothing to do with YouTube. I looked up the balance of the iPhone that broke 5 days before my birthday, and it says I have $920.04 to pay that off. So that's a note to myself. Farriers takes care of horses' hooves. Oh, okay. Email address, aprildavispi@gmail.com. There's some great YouTube channels of farriers shoeing horses. I've seen the hoof guy on YouTube. And he does like the cow hoofs, but I didn't know what a farrier was. Thank you for explaining that. Oh, okay. Nanette said he did a deep dive on Derek Colella. Okay. And he is a YouTuber, right? Yeah, I'd like to see that. Are there a lot of videos? Is it like his most recent? Because if I go over to his channel, I won't have time to like watch all the videos. Do we know if it's like the most recent video or is it in his title? So I'll know which one it is. And you said yes. I'll look that up. Oh, he did it today. Okay. Because if he didn't, somebody would have to email me the link. You know, I got some raw dirt that might contain gold. It wasn't seeded, and it's been sitting on my coffee table for like a month from the Alabama Gold Camp. Maybe I'll have a chance to do that today, or actually I need to get ready for the Dodgers game. I was watching it last night, and then I went on the air to do the sound test because I'm like, oh, if I watch the Dodger game and it doesn't go off till like 10, you know, and I'll have to take my meds and, you know, the heart meds and the blood pressure meds, and like, I'm just going to like have the game in front of me and do the sound test for like 10 minutes. And I was on for like an hour. Like, you know, 600 people came in for a sound test. Like, what's that about? The one, the interview room about DC was yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I can't watch all of these. It's impossible. But I do like to watch the Juice whenever I can. I don't know how he does it because he has a full-time job too. Oh, Marcy, stay safe. She says, oh, Mercy, I'm getting storms here now. I gotta go. I live in Oklahoma. Bye. That's where my cousin lives. Stay safe, Marcy. I'm in Los Angeles, Sandra. I don't think he sleeps. I know. Like, God, I wish I could be like that. You know how much I could get accomplished in my life if I'd never had the breast cancer and I was still going full-time as a PI, and oh my God, my whole life would be different. Hit that like button, says Margaret Lund. Thank you. 68 people in the house and 67 likes. But you know, there's a lot of people that come in during over the, you know, hour that I'm on or whatever. Hey, Barbie. You're sick of coming here. Okay. Well, you don't have to ever come again. Bye. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm not even hitting the timeout button anymore. I'm just going, you're gone. You're out of here. She's sick of coming here. Okay. Your wish has been granted. Forever bye. Yeah, no more being nice. I'm not being nice about it anymore. Just, you're gone. I know, Margaret. Can you believe it? Just tell me how you really feel. Remember, I'm not doing this for the money or for the subs or, you know, it's certainly going to help pay for all this equipment that I've needed, and I need to pay myself back for the last 5.5 years, but I just wanted to talk about Nancy. I wanted to get this case out in the media when it happened. I didn't know we'd be here 154 days later. I am the home base umpire. See, and I love those baseball references. Mama sees all. She's using the custom emojis of the bunny and the detective. Let me check on her again. She's still on the new rug. Normally she has like a little pen, but it's like 3-sided. Like it's free. Like she can go anywhere she wants, you know, 24 hours a day. But at night she likes to come out and sit on her rug. But I replaced it. That's another $43 and change I've got to come up with. But I was like, you know what, this is just getting gross and it's too big to fit in the washing machine. And, you know, which I don't even have a washing machine, but the building has a few. And they're pretty big commercial size, but still it wouldn't fit in that. And I don't want to spend $20, $30 taking it to a dry cleaner and then she doesn't have a rug. And, you know, I might as well just, you know, Amazon, you know. And they delivered it in a matter of hours. And the cat helped me place it, and I lifted the coffee table all by myself, but yet very carefully. I'm sure I'm going to pay for it later. And she's just so happy. She's just like, woohoo! Like, I have a new rug. I think our kitties are under the bed, says Jay, with the fireworks and the lightning. Yeah, I heard a little bit about our Pacific El Nino. Apparently, there's like a Category 5 typhoon that's hitting Guam right now. That's just going to decimate it. And they're like, this is because of that that change in the weather, that El Nino, that's supposed to crush us like in the wintertime. What do you find most avoidable, Taylor Swift wedding or Mount Rushmore speech? I didn't see either. Yeah, we're supposed to have it really bad on the West Coast this coming winter. I haven't seen either. I just know personally, even if I were, rich like Taylor Swift, I would never spend $20 million on a wedding. I would just go elope somewhere, spend $100 and get my license, and that would be done. It would be over. Kathy Doherty. Oh, I haven't seen that. The eagle. Oh, that means so much because I'm watching the babies right now. Let's see. Oh, one left the nest. While I was watching, I didn't see which one left. But tonight we have to pray for our Big Bear Eagles because they're going to have the big July 4th, 250th birthday fireworks show at Big Bear Lake. And the Eagles are at great, great risk. Not just the ones that are on camera, but the ones that are also around that whole area. The entire, I think the coyotes will survive because they're on the ground. They'll be scared. And, the bears, the rattlesnakes, they'll survive. But the eagles and the owls, all the birds, the eagles have eagle eye vision during the day, but they have very poor vision at night. And our babies, they were born late because they came from a second clutch. The first clutch didn't survive. The second clutch was born. And we have to be we just have to pray for our eagles tonight. They may have an accident. They were carrying drinks down the aisle. From what I've seen, I don't know anything. I don't know a lot about Taylor Swift. I know she's very generous in donating money to charity, things like that. But the guy that she married, from what I've seen of him, since she hooked up with him, he appears to possibly be a raging alcoholic. So it makes me question, what's going on with her. He seems like he clubs a lot and he's, piss-faced drunk. I don't even like to say that word, but piss-faced drunk a lot. And so I just, wow. She could probably have anybody she wants, right? You got all that money, and because he's full of money too. He's a successful football player. But I wouldn't be surprised. But they do donate a lot, but $20 million, that's ridiculous. Steven Spielberg and Katie Capshaw, they didn't do anything like that. They just had their wedding at their New York home. Don't ask me why I know that, but 20 million? I used to have these neighbors, and they had a baby. That's when they still lived locally, and they didn't live next to me anymore at that time, but they still lived here in LA, and they had champagne at the hospital in Santa Monica when they had their baby, and I was like, champagne? Isn't the mom gonna breastfeed? Or at least try to? Who brings champagne to a hospital to have a baby? They had the glasses, they had the French champagne, and I was like, that's a little weird. And I haven't seen them in years, but I still follow them both on Facebook, and I talked to the ex, he's an ex-husband now, but yeah, and all their posts are about alcohol. You can just kind of tell, I think there's a problem there. Uh, Renee, it's a tax write-off. Could be. Well, definitely her donations would be a tax write-off. Yeah, 20 million. But people also had a problem with James Vanderbeek when he was dying from stage 4 colon cancer. And he and his wife went and bought a ranch that was like $4 or $5 million. And then, like 4 days later, he died. And then she put up a GoFundMe, like, oh, help us, we don't have any money. And everybody's like, okay, you were married to a rich and famous actor. Apparently, they had tax issues as well. And they're like, oh, but we didn't pay for it. Our friends like put the down payment down, but now that he died 4 days later, we need a GoFundMe to pay for our $5 million ranch or something. Like, what? Like, who the F does that? Oh, I heard about that, Lori, that he just got charged for an accident today. Isn't he elderly, and isn't he the one that was attacked and almost killed in his home? I wonder if it was like a senior kind of thing, like he wasn't well. Pauline says, Ash, I was thinking that it would help others. Drinks down the aisle. Yeah, they did. She gave, I don't know about him, but I know she donated 20-some million to charity. But wow, $20 million. But she's been known. Taylor Swift, she's kind of like the next generation. She's not from my generation. I'm more of a classic rock person. But she does, she's constantly donating her money. But, I have seen indications that the new husband may have an alcohol issue. Just saying. But hopefully they'll be very happy. But, money doesn't buy happiness. I heard that Adam Sandler officiated the wedding. Is Taylor Swift Jewish? Because I know Adam Sandler is Jewish. They never heard of life insurance, says Jay Vanderbeek, prior to getting sick at the beginning of his career. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was odd. Like, your husband has stage 4 cancer and he's dying and he can't work, and you've got like 6 kids or something, and you're going to go out and buy a $5 million ranch 4 days before he drops dead. And then you're going to ask the world for donations because you need to feed your children. Like, that's messed up. But I'm not going to judge them, but I just think it's messed up. I mean, I have a cancer GoFundMe as well, but, I don't have a $5 million ranch. Yeah, I don't know if he had insurance or not. Who knows? Usually there's a little something that comes from SAG. But I don't know when he was last able to work. And there should be a SAG pension that comes too, even in death. I guess so, Jay. You hear these stories all the time about, like, famous people, especially people that were famous as children, getting into financial issues and bankruptcy and, tax debt. That happens all the time. Or managers or accountants stealing their money, but I just don't know why somebody would do that. But, I don't know their situation. Parents taking money? Oh, yeah. There's somebody that I know who's a famous person, and his first client was a famous child actress. And she lives on the West Coast, but also the East Coast. She goes back and forth. She's bi-coastal. And when she turned, I think it was 17 in New York, you have to be 17 or 18 to get your driver's license there. It's 16 here, I think. Because I lived like 3 different places. So I had to get one in one state, then the next year get one in another state, and then move back to California and get one here. But she wanted to buy a BMW, and she had been working since she was 2. And her dad said no. And they fought and they fought and they fought. And she's like, but I have millions of dollars and this is my money. And he said, nope, you're not going to have a BMW. And then finally he gave in and said, well, okay, you can buy a used one. And she was like, well, that's better than no BMW. But, and of course, BMW is a piece of crap anyway. It's just, usually they don't work very well. But, you're rich. You can afford to deal with that, I guess. And she was just a kid. But then when she got in her 20s, it was like, well, how come I couldn't buy that BMW when I got my driver's license? Like, I've been working since I was 2 and I'm a multimillionaire. And so she hired a forensic accountant. And it turned out her parents, who had helped her, since she was 2, with getting her into the business and getting her famous, they had taken all of her money. And they're like, honey, you don't have any money. And now she's like, at least in her 30s. Heck, she might even be 40 by now. And she's still working. She's got to work because her parents took all the money. So, yeah, that does happen all the time. Good morning. Where are you coming in from, Habib? Exactly, Ash. We don't know what others go through, so I never judge. Yep. Even when the monies get put in their trust, parents get around them. Yeah. Because they only have to put a very small portion actually in the trust. It's called the Coogan Law. Yeah, the Jackie Coogan Law. Yeah, it still happens. Didn't Jewel, who lived homeless in a car with her mother, they drove all the way from Homer, Alaska to Los Angeles. The mother and her left the family and they lived in the back seat of a car. Can you imagine driving from Homer through the Alcan Highway through Canada and all the way to LA, and then you're sleeping in the car? And years later, she's now claiming that her mother stole over $100 million. Like, how does that even happen? Hey, Bruce. Okay, Bruce, I saw you last night. Well, actually, it was early this morning. Everybody welcome Bruce Davis from the Philippines. Just wanted to let you know that when you mentioned yesterday, I wasn't questioning what you said about the marshals, but I had seen this videotape from the news, and that was just a bad news report. Maybe it was KVOA. You were right. Like, he was not allowed, Derek Colella was not allowed to walk out of the courthouse on Thursday. Apparently he was sent directly to the rehab. So just wanted to let you know that, Bruce. Jay North's aunt stole his money. Oh, I hadn't heard that. Oh, yeah, that's a big one, Renee. I know some people that know him, actually, or knew him. I always think of Gary Coleman, whose parents stole from him as well. Yeah, I wish I could tell you the famous child actor that I'm talking about, but she's still a client of my friend, and so I would never, that was told to me in confidence that her dad took all the money, and that's why she couldn't get the car on her birthday, even though she had made millions since she was 2 years old. It's just crazy. I don't know, Randy. Oh, gosh. Good to see everyone, says Bruce. Thank you, Bruce, for coming. So, yeah, there's just been so much misreporting on this. And now people are saying that it was Ashley Banfield who threw out, like, oh, he got probation, and oh, my God, and then everybody ran with it. I don't know if that's true, that she went with it first. But they haven't even had the sentencing hearing yet. I mean, that's what his attorney put on the table, like, hey, if he, pleads guilty, can we have this instead of that? But it's up to the judge in the sentencing to decide what's going to happen. And yes, he was taken directly to rehab. I heard it was a residential treatment program, and it was like, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. go directly to treatment. Yeah, it's amazing what happens. But yeah, this all got started because somebody mentioned, we talked about, somebody brought up Taylor Swift. And I was like, yeah, she had her $20 million wedding last night. Now, she did donate over $20 million apparently to charity, but $20 million for one evening of entertainment. Like, crazy. And one day, she might not be able to perform anymore. I have a family friend, or a friend, and her family has a famous rock star in the family. And one day, he lost his voice, and it's been 6 or 7 years now, and he's never been able to perform again. And he's still a young man with a family, with kids. So you don't know what's going to happen. There could be an accident or an illness or cancer, or something could happen to her vocal cords, and that's it. She's done. Now, she could live off her royalties for the rest of her life. But, you got to watch that spending because it's not going to come in forever. It's a weekend. There should be a lot of it on Monday. Oh, you mean Nancy Guthrie? What should there be a lot of on Monday? Bruce says, that's good. He needs to get self better, stop all the bad behavior, and be an honest citizen. Well, he's a lifelong dirtbag, so I don't think that's going to happen, Bruce. I love that Hobble one. Right now, the weather is ripe for the tarantulas to hit the road. This hour is when they march. Yeah, I wish the best for everybody, Bruce, but he's a lifer. Leopards don't change their spots very often. Yes, DC probably a 28-day program, then depends on him staying clean month and a half after that before sentencing. Yeah, that's a long ways. Now to September 10th. Oh, okay. Hobble one says by Monday, the Banfield story will be all over. Yeah, what's with that? But I still have a problem. Maybe they're like, oh, this was just some drugged up, faker. When you send a text for ransom or a ransom note, you would typically tell the people you're sending it to where to send the money. Why would you send a ransom note for ransom, whether it was real or fake, and not ask for money? And then you're going to go to federal prison over it, most likely, and maybe pay a $250,000 fine, which I know he doesn't have. Hey, what about my Bitcoin? I'm waiting to complete the transaction. What transaction? We never got a note from you before. Like, what are you talking about? Who are you? Where do we send it? Who do we call? What's your address? What's your Bitcoin account? None of that was in the text. Where's my Bitcoin? As if he already knew them. What? Now, if he was just copycatting from the first ransoms, which had already been released, okay, but still, you would provide a Bitcoin address. Because if they went like, oh, we better hurry up and send that Bitcoin, they would send it to the address that was listed on the first ransom and the second ransom, which that's a different person. You're a copycatter, but you're not telling anybody where to send the money. I have a problem with that. Red flag. Bruce, somebody said that she was drinking a gin and tonic on the air. I don't know if it's true. Still, the family wanted a plea deal so they wouldn't have to testify since they're the victims. Maybe. I have not seen Banfield's video either. Hobble one. I like your sense of humor. That is all over the internet. but News Nation is like Fox News. Brian Enton will stay mum. My lips are sealed. I don't know. Like, this is crazy. If DC was on meth and addiction, who knows? He will go back to it if he gets out of rehab. Hope so. I don't want him to, go back to drugs, but I hope he gets in trouble. And he, because even if he gets the book thrown at him, the maximum he's going to get is 2 years in a cushy federal pen and a $250,000 fine that he'll never be able to pay. And the victims will get, part of that as restitution or something. It's stupid. MUMV. Happy 4th of July, P.I. Davis, and everyone. Great chat, comments, and discussion. Ditto, I love your sense of humor. I grew up in a family that had no sense of humor, so it's really hard for me. Oh, Bruce says that Banfield does have a few drinks when she does member live streams. I don't think you're supposed to do that on YouTube. I thought I saw something about A&T deleted something on their phones. I don't know about that. MVUMV says that's just not fair, but if it was one of us jaywalking, we'd get more time. Yeah, the Juice could be facing jail for having his foot on the pavement. Like crazy. His charges haven't been dropped. That's crazy. Ashley Banfield, maybe you need to clean up your act. I don't know. I don't watch her very often. I just haven't had time to watch hardly anybody. Half these people you guys throw out in the chat and say, oh, watch this or watch that. I don't know who you're talking about. It was something I didn't click on. I was just wondering where Annie and T is. I'd like to know that too. Who's paying the bills? Oh, you mean the juice? Any decent judge should throw it out. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that won't be the same judge as Kalala because that's a federal case where Derek's case would just be like the state of Arizona versus, stupid. View says, your discussions are one of the best and make more sense. Yeah, I don't have a lot to report today. I'm just still looking at my Eagles. Oh, there's still one of them there. I wonder if that's Sandy. Yeah, I'm so worried about my Eagles tonight. I'm just so scared for them. There's 2 cams up there, and I'll probably have at least one of the cams going to see if they fly out of the nest. And just, Jay says the big sister could be paying the bills. Maybe. I hope not. Don't do it, Savannah. Just a usual day for me, Peggy. Not doing anything special. Gonna stay home with my pets today. Now I did get a new rug for Amelia Kinsley money. $39.99 plus tax. I think it was $43 and change, but she is a happy bunny. She got a nice clean 5x7 rug that's under my coffee table, and she loves it. Ash Cash says, exactly, I pray Juice gets his dismissed too. He better, I hope so. Hey, Maxie Doodle just came in. Good to see everybody. Yeah, I still got 52 people in the room. God, am I getting any more subscribers? The last couple days, it was just like, it's all over. Yeah, 50. I got like 3 the whole 99 minutes. I've been on here 99 minutes and I got 3. Everybody, if you're not subbed to me, please give me a sub. I'm trying to get to 4,000. And according to my notes, here are my notes. on my boogie board, and they're just scratched with this. But my notes say, this is from yesterday's live, Thor and Gretel. And I had to think about it. Okay, that's the German couple that came in from Iceland, and they're retired to Iceland. And their closest neighbor is like 55 or 56 miles away. Then somebody here told me to watch on YouTube today's episode of Fugitive TV. So I will check that out, but I do have to cook first and get my Dodger game going, and then make sure that my Eagles are safe tonight. So it might be really late. And then I saw 3 of 36, and I'm like, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh, I've made 3 payments of 36, and I have a $920.04 balance to pay off the phone that I'm recording on. Now, if I could pay that off, and I could do really well on the channel, not that I'm doing this for the money, but if more money did start, if this channel did start generating more money, I have considered that I might be purchasing, but that would be way off in the future. But it's kind of like, it's kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel, but the tunnel's very long. If I could make enough money, get more subs, more views, more income generated from this channel, I might be able to buy a second, although cheaper, little cell phone that has a backup number on it. And then, because if I do horizontal lives, like on StreamYard, nobody's going to come in. But YouTube is pushing these vertical lives, so I've got to record on the only device I have to record on in order to do the vertical live, and that's my phone. That's my personal and business cell phone. So if the money started rolling in at some point and I could get the second phone, even though it wouldn't have all the bells and the whistles on it, it'd just be like a lower end, like older model iPhone or something, or a used phone, and I could have a second number, then maybe during my lives, occasionally, probably wouldn't do it every show, but maybe occasionally I could put that number up on the screen and, like the Juice does, and you guys could call in, and, I'd make sure that it had its own mic so that my audience here would be able to hear. And, I'd be like, hey, call 1-800 or, call 818, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to be, opening the phone lines tonight. And you guys could, give me a call, and we can have a little, like, true crime discussion about whatever we're talking about. So before I could do that, though, I need to get rid of the iPhone balance and the iPad balance. Jay says Iceland is pretty. Yeah, when I talked to those people last night, I went back to, I had a YouTube channel where I was watching the Aurora Borealis, but then I realized, well, it's summer. So, and they're in the northern hemisphere, so they're probably all lit up at night like Alaska. So I didn't see that channel. But I can't wait, like, when they go into their winter time, I'll have that like on the back, on my computer, like in the background, and I'll be watching like the auroras from Iceland. That's really cool. I would love to visit there too, Maxie. Cali Girl on Fire says, I think even Jackie and Shadow disappeared a couple of days last year. Yes, they did. And people were very worried. But see, their eaglets had already left and they were okay. Hopefully they stay for Luna and Sandy. Yeah, only one of them's on the nest right now, but the 2 babies had been on the nest all day. It's very windy up there. It's extremely windy up there. I don't know how the wind would affect that fireworks show. Mostly Dolls helicopters. I turned around to look at either Sandy or Luna, and I missed it. But thank you. I missed it on the screen. Ash Cash said, me too, I would love to visit. Yeah. What an incredible place. If anybody here watches Stranger Things, after they had wrapped that series, literally months later after they had wrapped it, they went back into production and sent a small crew to Iceland, and one of the actors went to Iceland, the girl that played 11. And there was a scene at the very end of the show where she's not in the underground anymore. She's escaped and she's in another country, and that was actually Iceland. And it took 5 days to film like a 90-second scene or something. And I was like, wow, that's gorgeous. And that was not written into the original final episode that they were going to do it. They did it months after they'd already filmed the final episode of season 5. They decided to send a crew to Iceland and throw that in at the very end of Stranger Things. So if you guys watch Stranger Things, see the final episode and see where Eleven is standing there and there's that spectacular view. That's Iceland. And ever since then, I've been obsessed with oh, I'd love to know about Iceland. B says, hello, B. That's why I'm surprised they didn't do a drone show in Big Bear. I know, and they could do that. That's what they do at the stadiums now. Even the city of Burbank that used to do a show, they're not doing a show. They're doing a drone show tonight. It'll probably be up in the hills of Burbank. And I'm too low where I am here where I would be able to see that. I'd have to, go up on Mulholland Drive to see, but then I would be leaving my pets alone, and I'm not going to do that. Kathy says her dog is going crazy. Yeah, it's still daytime here at 6:47. Speaking of that, I better get the TV switched over to my Sportsnet LA. Let me just switch it really quick because it takes a long time for it to come on. I have to exit YouTube because I've been watching these babies all day. Then I got to go to my app menu. That takes 3 to 5 seconds. Then I have to click MLB.com, even though I'm not a member of MLB.com. But I do have that mini Spectrum Sportsnet commercial break in progress. Okay. Hopefully I'll be able to see my game. I was watching it last night and it wasn't going well, and I was like, now would be a good time to go on the air and test the mics. So I did a little sound check with the new mics before, and then I was like, well, it's not really going to tell me unless I go on the air. And then 600 people came in, what? That's where I'm at, B. I've been in LA, San Fernando Valley, and there were people setting off fireworks literally in the streets. Where was that? I only heard it for a few minutes last night, between 9 and 9:20. And I'm near Universal. Yeah, I saw you too, Jay. And you said you wanted Roger to take you someplace good today. B says more towards North Hollywood. Okay, I'm just getting that frozen screen. Okay. Kathy says Shirley Temple's father gambled all the money. Did you go somewhere cool today, Jay? I'm glad you're home now, though, because it's storming and you want to keep your pets, your cats. Oh, going towards Panorama City, you might as well be in Tijuana. No offense, but I had a friend that lived in Panorama City, and she said it was like a war zone. It was like literally being in a war for days. And I'm like, what about your kitties and your bunny? And she's like, oh, they're used to it because it's Panorama City. And it was wild. Even the neighborhood my Thai family lives in now, it's not where they lived before, and it's not so cool. It's not so great. And that neighborhood will be wild too. There'll even be gunshots. So I told her, the mom, I said, you stay inside. You just stay inside with the kitties. Don't go anywhere tonight. Just stay inside. And her cats are used to it as well because they get it really bad on July 4th and January 1st, really bad, for weeks. But yeah, Panorama City, my friend used to call me from there on New Year's Eve, and she's like, can you hear this? Can you hear this? And I'm like, oh my God. Jay says, well, a hot dog at the Dairy Queen drive-thru. Hey, at least you have a Dairy Queen. I don't think we have those out here anymore. I think they had those when I was a kid, on the Gulf Coast. It starts a day or so before. Okay. Were you Are you in North Hollywood, or you were near North Hollywood, and then you mentioned Panorama City? Somebody from the Valley. That's cool, though. Yep, paycheck to paycheck. Sandy Greer, happy 4th. The Sandy Greer who is not related to Cindy Greer. We talked about that. Every time I see that name, I think of that. Oh, you do have a Dairy Queen in the area of San Diego. Oh, wow. Can I get a quick recap? I didn't get a notification. Well, Edward, I just talked about that Savannah, she had made a statement on the 1st saying that she thanked the people of Tucson, holding her in their hearts, as well as thanking the FBI and Pima County Sheriffs, and to bring her home. That's about it. Oh, okay. It was North Hollywood towards Sherman Way in the hood. Oh, okay. Okay, Texas Diane. Stay safe, everybody. Oh, okay. Now I actually can see Sportsnet LA. I do need to cook, though. No shade, but that's where. Okay. Yeah, no shade. When I was first back out here at 18, I was in Van Nuys, and that was rough then, and I don't even remember that far back if they had a firework situation there. Yep. That was always a tough neighborhood to work though, because there's never any parking like in Panorama City or the north end of North Hollywood out towards Orlita, Pacoima. It's always like, oh, there's no parking. But it's not too far to get home. Anywhere in the valley was great. That was always a great day if I had to go on a surveillance and it was in the valley, no matter where it was. Even if it was in the dreaded West Valley. Because I'm an East Valley girl, so to me the West Valley is like, yeah, it's like Mars, like. But I always was thankful to be in the valley and not be in the Basin or Orange County or Riverside or San Bernardino, as the locals call it, San Bernardino, or Ventura or Kern. Kern was always like psycho. It was like 120 degrees and like cool to see like the Air Force bases and things like that, but sometimes you have to go to Santa Barbara, Goleta, some of the military bases on our coast. Like, I was always glad to work in the valley. Christy said she just got home. We'll watch the replay. Well, thank you, Christy. Fireworks going crazy here. My cat's inside. Oh, I'm not a cop, and I'm not a racist. So you're blocked. Goodbye, Southpaw. Never heard it called San Bernardino. Yeah, it's a local term. And let me tell you, that was never a fun place to work either. That is one of the most dangerous cities in the country, sadly. And the smog out there is awful. It gets trapped out there. You're out, says Nanette. You're out. No 3 strikes. You're just out of here. B says you moved and missed the Latino culture. Yeah, my friend that lived in Panorama City, she was always speaking Spanish all the time, but she was like Canadian. What are you doing? Like, speak English. And she'd laugh. Kinsley P.I. Been there to visit aunt and uncle 30 plus years ago. Yeah, it's very bad now, Jay. It's really bad. I don't even like going to the morgue out there. It's so bad. Oh my God. I've been in the LA morgue plenty of times, Orange County morgue, Ventura County morgue. I've dealt with San Diego, but I haven't had to go there. I've dealt with Orange County, but have I had to go there? I can't remember. The one I've been to the most is in LA. And the one in Ventura was great because it was up on the hill above the ocean, and they actually had the morgue part in the hospital, so you didn't have to like deal with any of that. Um, but the one in San Bernardino, oh my God. Oh my God. It's the only morgue I've ever been in where I just feel ill. It is awful. And then they always tell you, like, oh, don't worry, you're going to go over to the administration side of the building. And then the coroner comes out all gloved up, and she's like, come this way, ma'am. And you go through the doors that say, do not cross, do not enter. And it's like, it's the biggest county in the United States is San Bernardino. So their morgue was always like, 400 or 500 souls. It was just, oh my God. And then the last time I was there, they were like, yeah, there's some kind of morgue flu that's going around and everybody's got it. And I'm like, ah, get me out of here. Oh my God. Ugh. That part of my career, that's over. No more morgues for me. Yikes. San Bernardino, and there's some beautiful places in San Bernardino. There's a lot of gold hunting in San Bernardino. There's some prospecting. Some of that drive is just beautiful with the mountains, and you've got the Big Bear up in the forest, but the city of San Bernardino, it's like really, really bad. It's sad. And the smog could choke a horse out there. It just gets backed up there and it stops. And it's just like, it's so bad. I mean, you could just smell the air there. It's just, ugh. It's a lot of gangs and drugs, and it's really, really sad. But I've always had, good relationships anytime I've had to go out there and talk to the police or the sheriff or, the coroner, like, but they're more stressed out there than they are in LA. If you think the LA morgue is a zoo, that's a country club compared to those doctors that are in San Bernardino, and they're under so much pressure. I've had some really bad cases out there, like really bad ones. Central California has valley fever. Yeah, I've heard about that. That's nasty. Stay away from the dirt, people. And stay away from the mice as well with the fatal hanta that is spreading now. Edward sent the gold coin. Thank you. Thank you for the second gold coin. Let's get off this very dark conversation. Oh, someone is singing the anthem. Who is this? Oh wow, there's a big American flag right now across the field at Dodger Stadium, and it's flapping in the wind because it's quite windy in certain parts of town right now. Thank you for the gold coins. Oh gosh. Well, there's another one that's going to be in a permanent timeout. Your views on dirt blowers? Yeah. They're illegal here, but they use them all the time, the gas-powered ones. Annette says it's windy down near San Diego. Oh, wow. I wish I could show you guys this on the TV, but I can't. But they have a giant American flag across the field at Dodger Stadium. I'm going to have to go watch that game, and I got to cook something. I haven't even, other than my little orange and my little breakfast sandwich, I haven't eaten today. And I'm still fat, and I don't eat anymore. What's going on? Yeah, they are illegal in LA County. I don't know if they're illegal statewide, but they are illegal. the gas, not the electric ones, but the gas-driven blowers. But our gardeners come and do it every day, and bzzz, it's just like, ugh. Yeah, I will. Thank you, everybody, for coming on July 4th. And thank you for the people who earlier, it was much earlier in the chat, the people that sent the super chats. And those people that sent the jewels. I'm up to 772 today in jewels. Wow. San Diego's called San Jose Sancho? Oh, they call San Diego Dago? And San Jose Sancho. Never heard that. 25 or 250 years of freedom, baby. Absolutely. I have some descendants that actually fought in the American Revolution. Like, yeah, my lineage goes way, way back to the early days of the United States. B says, nice to meet you all. Yeah, I've seen you in my comments quite a few on the videos. Thanks for watching, B. Yeah, I think they're going to have a drone fireworks show at the end of this game. We probably won't see it on Sportsnet LA, probably. Maybe they will show it. If I knew that I could see fireworks for my property, then I would show you guys some fireworks, but my bunny, she'll be pretty chill about it, I think, but the cat, no. I could join the Daughters of American Revolution. I could, but you have to prove all that. Just like I have a great-great-grandfather that fought. Is he a great-great-grandfather or a great-great? I think it was my grandmother's grandfather. So it's a great-great-grandfather that fought in the Civil War for the Union. So I could become a daughter of that as well. But I need to prove it. And I know his name and everything, and when he lived and when he died. He was born in Germany. And then he came over here and he fought in the Civil War. There are public war records. Yeah, when I was doing the big family tree on Ancestry.com, it was like some of the people fought in the American Revolution. But right now, I'm more concerned about great-great-grandpa Frank, and that was short for Francis, that fought in the Civil War. I'd like to get the little, certificate, but I don't have any way to really prove it. I mean, I've got my birth certificate, but I don't have my parents' birth certificates or my grandparents' birth certificates, or, I don't know how I could prove all that. Jay says you have them going on outside now. Oh, what, the fireworks? Yeah, I think around 9 it'll pick up around here a little bit. But, there's no place for, the building across the street has a nice rooftop, like little sauna or pool area that I could probably see it from there. But, I don't live in that building. So in Studio City, they don't do our annual show anymore. They used to do our annual show at CBS for years. And sometimes I lived right across the street from there. Yeah, I literally lived across the street from Gilligan's Island and Mary Tyler Moore and Rhoda and all those great shows. But I lived there years later. That 70s show, and it would come like right up over my house. But I don't, I'm a mile further away from there now, and they don't do it anymore. Jay says big fireworks in the neighborhood. Oh, I missed it. Sandy sent the flow state. Thank you. I don't know why I didn't catch that. Nanette, my grandfather came through Ellis Island, and his name is on the Wall of Remembrance. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. I was never interested in history when I was a kid, and then I started metal detecting, and when I started that, which I can't do anymore, but when I started that, I became a big history buff. Well, thank you, everybody that sent the super chats, everybody that sent the jewels. I wish I could see some fireworks that I could show you later on. You know, if you guys are still here, if we're all still together at Christmas, you can see the little holiday Christmas parade that comes through my neighborhood. But they won't monetize it because they sing, you know, like Christmas songs, and you can get copyrighted for that. So, you know, even if people like sent super chats, they'd be like, you don't get that because, you know, this is copyrighted material. But I do have some of those. If you want to see, you can see a July 4th parade in our neighborhood. You can see the Christmas parades. I have a couple of videos on that. The Halloween we're the most bombed neighborhood in the country, I think, for Halloween. I got all that on my channel on the playlist. Oh, I wish I could see some, but I'll hear them at 9, but they'll be hopefully further away. Because Kelsa, she will be scared. She doesn't like loud noises. The bunny, she'll just look at me and go, "Is it okay?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, it's okay. You don't need to hide." Same with an earthquake. Do I run? Do I hide? And I'm like, "No, we're good now." Sadly, one of my other bunnies went through Northridge, and so he was trained, like how to respond in an earthquake and where to hide and where to run and when to duck and cover. But, you know, if the second floor comes caving in, none of us have a chance. So hopefully she's going to be chill. She's so happy. Oh, she's still a complete, like, loaf bunny. I wish I could show you guys, but she's so tired because she's so excited about her new rug today. Oh my gosh. That just makes my heart happy that I was able to buy something that would benefit her today. I'll still have to pay it off, but you know, like if she's happy, I'm happy. And once again, before I go, everybody say a prayer for our birds tonight, all of our birds, eagles and owls, but especially Jackie, Shadow, Luna, and Sandy, our new family of eaglets in Big Bear Lake, California. Let's just pray that they're going to survive this tonight. I'm going to be watching the nest. Even if I have to switch over from the game, I'm going to be watching their nest, and hopefully both of them will be in it tonight. We'll see if they can make it through the night. Everybody, have a good 4th of July and stay safe. Thank you for coming.